right, what is going on? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 2 of the best podcast that you've never heard of, Small Talks with the Big Guy. I am, of course, your host, EROE, as always. Today, episode 2, I've got a good one for you. Let me just say right out of the gate. I've got podcast host, former editor, I've got movie critic, and FTI member. Donald? Don?
Yeah,
Don's
yeah.
Day Afternoon?
Either one is fine. How's it going?
It's going good, man. How are you? How you doing?
I'm good. I've been a fan for a while, you know. Kind of cool to be on here.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so very much.
Mm-hmm.
So, for those who have never seen an episode of Small Talks with the Big Guy, this is going to be an interview style process podcast episode. Of course, this will be live on video form on YouTube, as long as all audio forms on Spotify, Apple, Google, and a couple other podcast platforms as well. So, however you'd like to view, we've got you covered. But without any further ado, this will be a introduction so that way you can get to know my good friend, Don's Day Afternoon. So, right out of the gate, I gotta ask, where did that come from? Don's Day Afternoon.
There's a movie called Dondayafternoon, so
Oh,
name is Don. You know.
okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
original.
hey, man, simple. Well, why don't you start off by telling us just who is Don's Day Afternoon?
Well, I'm a podcast host. Maybe people don't call me Donday Afternoon. That's just kind of the handle I went with for Twitter and everything.
Yeah.
But I host a podcast called Pocket Cinema with my friends Nate and Tyler. It was for the school paper originally, but I think we're going to keep doing it after this year. We're going to take the summer off, but yeah, I write movie reviews, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay. You said you're taking the summer off for Pocket Cinema? Okay. That would be why I haven't seen any new episodes. I was like, where are they at?
There's one that I still that should be coming out soon. I just haven't had time. But,
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the last one before season 2. So
yeah, definitely. I say I get the time struggle just as much as anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
So how long have you been doing Pocket Cinema?
Since the start of the semester, which would have been around the fall season of last year.
Okay, and you said it was for I assume college.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a writing and multimedia studies major, soon to be film studies major because I'm transferring schools. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Incredibly impressive. I say I didn't go to college, so
yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. So I knew one of the big things that you and I were going to talk about was going to be like a majority of this is going to be films. Because I'm a movie buff, you're a movie buff.
Yeah.
What do you think got you into the whole like movie thing? Like what like your first like I guess first impactful memory you have from a movie?
Well, I've always been a fan of like Pixar movies and Star Wars and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The big thing I remember is it was opening night of Toy Story 3, which was over 10 years ago at this point, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is. Thanks for that.
But I was very little, and you've seen the movie, right?
Yep, it's been a while, but yeah.
The ending scene where it looks like they're about to die, like going into the garbage or whatever. I ran over to my grandma, and she was like, it affected me so much, and I just felt it was just super interesting how a movie can make you feel emotions like that.
Okay.
And yeah.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. So you say that you're going to try to keep Pocket Cinema going.
Mm-hmm.
And that's with Tyler and Nate.
Yep.
Nice. So like, what keeps you three inspired to keep Pocket Cinema going, or at least wanting to keep it going? Just your love of movies?
Basically that, and also a lot of my friends tell me how much they love podcasts. One of my friends actually, he told me that he sleeps to the podcast. I didn't know how to respond to that, but I was like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
But yeah, a lot of people tell me they like it, and I like it's an excuse to watch more movies. So,
for sure. Never a bad thing. Never a bad thing.
mm.
Um, what about some long-term goals that you've got for Pocket Cinema? If you guys decide to keep it rolling, are there any like big long-term goals that you guys would like to see, or?
Not necessarily. I mean, getting it to a point where it can make a little bit of money, so because they're doing it, I'm doing it for a class, but they're doing it for free. So I would love to be able to kind of pay them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, no, I don't know. I just like talking about movies. It's an
For
excuse to
sure.
talk about movies.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Um, where do you where did you come up with Pocket Cinema? Just out
Like
of
the name,
like the title.
Matt. That was Matthias from FDI.
Oh, was it a Matthias?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We've been friends for a long time, like for a few years. And I was telling him I want to start. It was originally, I don't know if it was going to be an FDI podcast, but we definitely were talking about working together.
Yeah.
And but there's a point where I just said, I got to do it myself. And and so we were talking. I'm like, I don't have a name, and let me see if I can pull up the original name because there was a longer name than Pocket Cinema.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I say knowing Matthias, me and him have talked about collaborating on several different things. So
Hmm.
I can only imagine. Shouts out to Matthias,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah. I love Matthias. He's such. I was so sad about FDI and everything, but we can talk about that here in a minute, or if at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So let me see. Yeah, it was supposed to be called Cinema in Your Pocket. He said it's too long, but something like that would give people an idea of what it's about, and then I replied Pocket Cinema.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay.
that's really how it came about.
Gotcha. So it's like a half Donald, half Matthias original.
Hmm. Yep,
Okay,
yep.
okay. Uh, you've never had Matthias on it though, correct?
No, no, we've talked about it, and uh, we can probably cut this out. I don't know, but he comes off the face of the earth. I haven't been able to contact him.
No, me and Artie talked about that in the last episode. He definitely kind of did fall off the face of the planet,
Hmm.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Matthias, man, come
No, we love you, Matthias. He's a great
on.
actor.
Yeah.
But I've had Emerson on, Emerson Corleone.
Oh, Emerson.
He
Yep.
was a
Yep.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
He gave me a cassette tape.
Oh, yeah. Violets and Furs. I've got one too.
Yeah,
It's chilling over
yeah,
here on the shelf.
yeah.
Yeah, Emerson Corleone. He's a great guy.
And nice. I got this shirt from Nice Digs.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice Dicks doesn't ever have my size, unfortunately, or else I'd definitely get
Aw,
something.
yeah.
Yeah,
I got a good discount code from him. I didn't even ask. I just told him I was gonna buy it. He sent me a discount code. He's very
awesome, man.
nice.
Hell yeah, hell
He
yeah.
also
No,
sent
we
me a movie. He sent me
oh
like a Blu-ray along with it, which was
oh
so
really?
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the movie?
It was a Miles Davis documentary. It's downstairs. I haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet. I'm really excited to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we had Emerson on. I want to say like episode 5 or episode 6. Back when this got reverted to the eCast.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, yeah, no, and it was a super cool episode. Getting to talk to Emerson about music's always a good time.
Hmm.
Um, so I guess let's just get right into what majority of this podcast will be here. And of course, as I said earlier, films. So I want to ask
Hmm.
Casablanca. What's going on with that, man?
I just love that movie. I watched it when I was. That's my dad's favorite movie, so I watched it when I was very little, and I could just rewatch it over and over. I don't
Yeah,
know. I just like it a lot.
I'll say
We did a whole episode about it.
yes you did. I say you mentioned it a few times, and then you actually did the
Hmm.
full on episode about it.
Hmm. Yeah.
And it's been a long time since I've seen Casablanca.
Hmm.
I used to watch those kind of like older movies with my grandparents back when I was younger. But between that, Gone with the Wind, all that,
Hmm.
it's good stuff. But talk to me about. I'm going to name a few here. Talk to
Hmm.
me about Moonrise Kingdom.
Hmm.
Talk to me about Barbie,
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about Luca, and talk to me about Point Break.
So that's my top four right now.
It
It's
sure is.
they're all summer themed movies. And so,
Oh,
or
okay.
yeah, they're all movies that either take place in the summer or that like have a main plot point that deals with the summer. And so, the first one is Moonrise Kingdom. That's like a Wes Anderson movie. Have you seen it?
Not to my knowledge. I'm not sure.
It's so good. You have to
Okay.
watch it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's like a Boy Scout camp or something like that. It's been
Mm-hmm.
a while since I've seen it. It's really good. Um, and then, what were the other two? Barbie. Barbie was just a very good movie. I love Barbie. So again, Oppenheimer. I liked Oppenheimer more as a movie. But
Mm-hmm.
Barbie just had more of that kind of summer vibe, which is why I put it in there.
Okay, for
And
sure.
then Luke is one of my favorite Pixar movies. It was so good. It's just so vibey. It reminded me of like a Ghibli movie,
Mm-hmm.
like My Neighbor Totoro or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's such a like I could just throw that on at any point and just have it in the
Okay.
background. And then Point Break is just so campy and goofy. I've only seen it once, and that might have been 2 years ago at this point. But it was so funny. I haven't watched it
Yeah.
again. But
Now, so obviously I'm referring to his top four being off of Letterboxd, which is actually, I believe, how we kind of got to introduce to each other was
yeah,
through
yeah, yeah,
Letterboxd.
yeah,
Which thank you for showing me that. I have
yeah.
fallen in love with that damn app.
Yeah. I've been lurking on your streams for a while, but I don't have Twitch. I don't really know how to use Twitch, so I'm not
Oh,
sure
okay,
where to
yeah,
look.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I lurk on your streams and Geek streams, and so I know all you guys. But
Oh, for sure,
yeah.
man. Well, I appreciate that.
Hmm.
No, but so you change the top four per like per season, or just kind of however you're
Um,
feeling.
yeah, just how I like to have themes with them. Like most of the time, it's just my actual top four favorite movies, which we can probably get into later.
Oh, we will.
But um, otherwise, like the summer, I might change it here in a little bit. But I like to come up with themes and just whenever I'm feeling it, you know.
Okay, yeah. I think mine are just the top four that I could think of off the top of my head that I was like, oh yeah, that was really good. And then obviously I changed out one of them when I went and saw the Iron Claw,
Uh, yeah,
which
that was a good movie.
oh
That was a good
man,
movie.
oh man, are you a wrestling fan at all?
No, no,
No. Oh, so you had no idea? Oh wow.
no, no, no. It was a complete surprise to me. I've heard of the Von Erichs, but I was like, isn't that one? Anyway, let me just go watch it. I didn't know how sad it was going to be.
Yeah. No, growing up, obviously I've been a wrestling fan for
Mhm,
pretty much my entire life. Obviously growing up I heard about the Von Erichs and like the tragedy
mhm,
of that entire family story. And the second I heard that A24 was making
mhm.
a biopic, I think is what that's called.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the second that I heard they were making that, I was like, oh no.
That was so long too.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
just really let you feel it.
Yeah, no, it was so good, so inspiring, so tragic.
Yeah.
Um so this one might be more of a question for Tyler than it is for you, but I'm gonna ask you anyway,
Mhm.
obviously, because I don't have Tyler here. What's the make or break point for Tyler's sleep test?
I did not tell you. He has narcolepsy. I think it's just
Oh,
whenever he
okay.
finds the movie interesting. Um, he fell asleep during Mario, but he stayed awake for Oppenheimer. So it's really kind of random.
Yeah, I'd say so. I said so. No, I've grown to appreciate his sleep test for the movies
Yeah.
that you guys discuss. But so I did a little bit of digging on your
Mhm,
letterboxed, and I
mhm.
think some of the things I found you'd be a little interested in hearing. Obviously, I think
Okay.
your most reviewed movie, I guess, type, uh,
Hmm.
of course, film and animation.
Hmm.
I don't
Hmm.
think you're exactly surprised to hear that.
Nope. Yep.
But out of 1,142 of your total reviews, 29 of
Hmm.
them you rated between a 0 and a 1.5. Now, I didn't go back and didn't count all your 5-star reviews because, I mean, there are quite a
There's a
few.
lot.
Yeah. Um, but I guess what makes a movie go from that 5 to that 0? For you,
Really,
anyway.
yeah. I struggle with this too. Rating is big thing that like I really know how to do. It's just really how I'm feeling. Like with Pixar movies, I don't know, you probably saw, but they're either going to be 8 or 9 or a 10. I just love Pixar.
Mm-hmm.
We could talk about Pixar here in a minute because they're under fire recently.
Oh.
But other than that, I used to do like a quality thing, like how good I think the cinematography is compared to the story, compared to the acting, and blah blah blah. But I figured that's from my actual like written reviews. For my letterbox, it's just kind of spur of the moment, whatever I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I go back and change it, but otherwise, yeah, there's not really much of a thought process to it. It's just
Okay. Okay.
movie. While the credits are rolling, I like it.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. So I'm curious now. You said Pixar's
Mhm.
under fire. What's going on with that?
Yeah, yeah. So, Turning Red, Luca, and Soul and Elemental apparently all flopped, and so now they're not going to do original movies anymore. And they're Let me pull up the tweet. The tweet is ridiculous.
Oh no.
The
I'm trying to think. I saw all those. No, I didn't see Elemental.
only one I didn't like out of those was Elemental. It says Pixar is now focusing on films with, quote, clear mass appeal with less focus on directors' autobiographical tales like Luca and Turning Red. The studio's movies should be less a pursuit of any director's catharsis and instead speak to a commonality of experience.
Oh my
Which, like,
gosh.
the whole point of movies, and especially animation, is for a director's catharsis.
Right.
It's like a director should be able to speak their mind while they're making a movie. They shouldn't just make Toy Story Part 6. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Just for the bills.
Yeah, now they're looking at making Incredibles 3, Finding Nemo 3, like
Oh
a bunch of
no.
sequels. Yeah.
Oh no.
I still can't wait for Inside Out 2 because that was before they announced that kind of shift in
Yeah.
direction. So because the whole point of Pixar at first was they weren't going to make any sequels until they had a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what their company was built on. And then they kind of went away with that with the Cars movies. And then
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
their movies have kind of gotten good. I really liked Soul. I loved Luca. I loved Turning Red. I didn't love Lightyear, but I liked it. And so it's just interesting to me that they're completely shifting what they used to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I really loved Soul. I thought Soul was a beautiful movie.
Soul is amazing. Yeah.
I've got a soft spot for jazz. Uh, so that movie really hit me really good in the old heartstrings. Um, I saw Luca. I saw Turning Red. I don't. I thought they were both pretty good, but they didn't like
Mhm.
hit me. I never saw Elemental, which I need to at some point, I
Mhm.
guess.
Mhm. I want to rewatch it because
Yeah,
I just hated it, and I don't hate Pixar movies, so I
yeah,
want to go back and
for sure. So obviously, I would say that Toy Story 3 probably holds like that top echelon.
Mhm.
What are a couple others out of Pixar that really hold that spot for you?
Finding Nemo, absolutely. Apparently when I was a kid, I watched Finding Nemo every day to the point where my
Okay.
parents could like recite the whole movie.
Oh wow.
um, so there's that. Monsters Inc. is my brother's favorite. It's just such a good movie, and also Monsters University is very underrated. I love Monsters University.
I agree.
I might like it more than Monsters Inc.
Oh, okay.
The soundtrack of that movie is incredible. And then it was really good.
Mm.
Really, anything they made up until 2012, so like Brave and 2 and all this, which I still like Brave and I still like Cars 2, but like anything before that point is like an absolute masterpiece, I think.
Hmm.
Even like A Bug's Life and even what's another lesser known one?
I feel like a lot of people don't
Anyway,
talk about ants. A lot of people don't talk
that's
about.
DreamWorks.
Or is
That's
that
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks? Ah,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I
No, but
always do
that's
that. I don't know
yeah.
why.
No, I like Ants too, and it's weird that Woody Allen had such a heavy involvement in that movie. Um, but anyway,
Yeah. No. Cars 2, I thought was just one of the weirdest like
yeah,
sequels because like I loved Cars 1. Cars 1 was
yeah,
such a good film, and then Cars 2 comes
yeah.
out. You've taken all of the attention off of McQueen, put it on Mater,
Hmm.
which
Hmm.
okay, Larry the Cable Guy, he's funny, sure, but like
Yeah.
it's a spy movie now.
Mhm.
I just
I, it was so when I was a kid, I was even confused by it because it's kind of violent too.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't have been PG-13, but like there should have been a warning or something because like it gets kind of dark, especially in the
Yeah.
beginning.
Oh yeah.
Um, but I just thought it was so weird. That's why I like it. It's just
Okay.
it's just out of left field.
Yeah.
Like I don't it it was I like it. I can watch it again.
I mean, sure. I mean, out of left field, I feel like is definitely an understatement from like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
idea of where that movie
Cars
came from.
yeah. Cars 3 is maybe closer to Cars 2 than Cars 2 was. I
Yeah.
wasn't big on Cars 3, but it felt more like a Cars movie than Cars 2 did.
I actually never saw Cars 3 now that I'm thinking about it. I know Jeff Gordon was in it for some reason. I
Hmm.
mean, racing movie, obviously. But
Yeah.
other than that, no, I never saw it. I probably ought
Yeah.
to at some point. But
It's okay. I would watch it again, but
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't thought about it since it came out, so.
So I know I kind of mentioned DreamWorks there by accidentally
Hmm.
bringing up ants, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I know DreamWorks and Pixar have always been kind of like the two titans of the
Hmm.
animated films, along with like Disney, obviously. But
Hmm.
what about some DreamWorks films? Did they hit the same spot for you, or
So, Kung Fu Panda 2, absolutely. Kung
okay?
Fu Panda 2 is a masterpiece.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I, I really like the Shrek movies, especially 1 and 2. 3 and 4
Yeah,
but number 2 is
agreed.
incredible.
Agreed.
Um, I saw Shrek 2 in theaters. They did a re-release, and it was really good.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, I'm, I'm not, I just kind of like Pixar. I'm not like, I wish I was more of a master of animation than I am.
Hmm.
But I really like, again, Shrek 2, Kung Fu Panda 2. Oh, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish was really good. For some
Oh,
reason, they make really good sequels.
hmm.
Um, but here, let me pull up like a DreamWorks list.
Now, the Last Wish, the Puss in Boots. I really liked that one. I don't remember. I think it was on Max or Peacock,
Yeah.
one of the two. And when it got launched, I just dove
Mhm.
right into watching it, and I
Mhm.
loved it. I loved every minute of it.
Mhm. Um, the Captain Underpants movie was really good. That was a lot of fun.
I read those books as a kid. I never saw the movie.
Yeah. I also like Mr. Peabody and Sherman, and it's really weird because it was directed by the same dude who directed like the original Lion King, which is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Of
But
course.
it's not as good as the Lion King. Really.
Oh no, I don't think there's a whole lot of movies that do stack up to the original Lion
Yeah.
King.
No, there's not. And then there's also the How to Train Your Dragons. I've only seen the first two, but they're good.
I think
Um,
I've only seen How many are there? Three?
I think there's four of them now.
Is there four? Oh man, I know I've seen a couple of them. I like because I know the dragon gets like a white dragon, and they end up
Mhm.
having babies. You know.
Oh, How to Train Your Dragon 4 is coming out next year, so there's only three.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I mean, fair enough.
Hmm.
Um, animation, man, it's wild.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Up and Wally have always
Hmm.
been my two top favorite Pixar's of all time.
Hmm.
And
I love Wally.
like Wally, I feel like is such a it's a fantastic movie, but I always feel like it's such an odd movie because like how long is it? Like 45 minutes where you have no dialogue.
Yeah,
Um
yeah.
it's just like I guess in your expert opinion, what do you think makes people really enjoy Wally?
It's an emotional movie.
Yes,
Um, it's
absolutely.
it's it's boy meets girl except robot meets robot. Uh, and then there's also the aspect of what we're doing to the world.
Hmm.
Uh, I haven't seen it in a minute. I have to go back and I got the 4K Criterion. You know what Criterion is?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So I bought that. I'll have to rewatch it. Um, but it's just a very simple movie, but it's told in an elegant way.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, consider this my first official. If you guys decide to continue Pocket Cinema, I would like to hear you guys talk about Wally.
Yeah, I try to
That's
have a guest on every time, so you might be able to come on, man.
yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah,
Hey, any
yeah,
excuse to watch Wally, I'm fucking here for it.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
But all right,
that's mainly why
so
we haven't.
go ahead.
That's mainly why we haven't done the next one that we're supposed to do because we don't have a guest. So,
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, if you want to come on,
I'm
then yeah,
yeah, yeah. I'm here for it. Just hit me
okay,
up. Absolutely.
yeah,
Uh, okay. So we could get lost in the world of animation. I mean, we kind of already have for sure. But stepping away from
Nightmare Before Christmas poster.
yes, you do.
Yeah, and
Oh,
then
jeez.
and then our giant statue.
Oh, my heart. I have not been able to watch that movie since I was a kid. Just because
No.
that movie hit me so hard when I was a kid, man.
Yeah, yeah. A weapon.
No, honestly. Oh man. But stepping away from animation,
Hmm.
what are I know you talked about like Moonrise Kingdom, Barbie, Point Break, but what are some of your like
Hmm.
all-time favorite movies that aren't in that animation world?
Oh boy. I used to have a top 100 list, but
Oh, okay.
I couldn't maintain it. Um, but I would say any of the Pixar's, as we just mentioned, are probably up there.
Mhm.
I really like this movie, Do the Right Thing. Uh, it's about a black neighborhood in New York City. Um, and it is it's strange how relevant the movie is, especially
Mhm.
today. It's very politically driven. Um, and then there is Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is another animation, but it's very good.
Okay.
Um, I really like La La Land, and I've been really liking horror movies lately.
Mm.
I know horror, like I've been just now getting into them. But I really liked this one that Emerson Corleone actually recommended me called Motel Hell. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Uh-uh.
It's very goofy. It's about this couple who runs like a bed and breakfast, but it's actually not a bed and breakfast. They just kill their customers,
Oh.
turn them into like meat. It's very
Oh.
goofy.
Okay.
The finale of that scene is crazy.
Yeah.
Um, and what I like Midsummer.
Midsummer was weird, man. Me and my
Yeah,
wife
yeah,
watched Midsummer, and oh, because
yeah,
I was such a big fan of Hereditary.
mhm,
I love that food. I love
yeah,
that movie.
yeah.
Um, and so her family's from Sweden.
Mhm,
So she kind of had that like interest in just because of that to want to watch the movie, but then also with it being a somewhat of a sequel, not really, to
mhm.
Hereditary. Um, she wanted to watch it, and like that's a weird movie, man.
It's a weird one. Um, and then the Matrix is one of my. I read an
Mm,
article about the Matrix. I love the Matrix.
classic.
I sleep to that movie. I like turn it on and fall asleep to it.
Yep, yep.
And Taxi Drivers, it's kind of cliche, but it's a good one. Um,
Another classic.
yeah, I really like this movie Cabaret, which is a musical.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I like, the problem is a lot of my 5 stars are animated movies.
I mean, it's understandable.
I really like this one called Michael Clayton. It's like a lawyer movie, kind of.
With
He's like a law firm fixer.
that's got George Clooney in it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I thought
I love
so.
that movie. It's the same dude who did Andor, like the same director.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Tony Gilroy. Um, yeah, that's. I could just list all my 5 star movies. I'm not gonna do that to you. Um, I really like Tarantino. Tarantino is probably my favorite
Oh,
director, so anything by him.
okay, okay. So that's interesting that you say that
Yeah,
actually, because both Kill Bills in your
hmm,
letterbox don't have any kind of a rating. They just have the heart.
no,
So what's up with that?
because when I first watched them, I didn't like them, and it's been a while
Oh,
since I've seen them.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, I thought they were too goofy, but that was before I knew who Tarantino was.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to watch their inspirations, which is a movie called Lady Snowblood. I want to watch those because
Mm.
Kill Bill is kind of a remake of Lady Snowblood, and
Okay.
I got the Criterion of Lady Snowblood, so I'm gonna watch those, and then I'm gonna rewatch Kill Bill. But those are the only two Tarantino movies that I was iffy on that I immediately want to give a 5. And
That's
so
crazy.
yeah, and I know that's a lot of people's favorites. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what it was about. just wasn't.
No, I mean they are really goofy and like
But
over
I
the
love goofy
top.
movies,
Yeah.
so like I don't know.
Yeah, no, like that over the top action, samurai, everything. I don't know. I grew up. It probably tells you how crazy my childhood was, but I watched growing up both Kill Bills, not in the theater, but I saw them when they were on TV, and I remember going to Family Video and renting both Kills Bills 1 and 2 because TV obviously, edited it
Yeah.
so heavily so you had none of the good stuff. Um, to this day, because I think I rewatched both of those probably that was last month, maybe a month ago. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
The fight with Uma and the Crazy 88s is still probably one of my top fight scenes in movies, period. Yeah, it's such a good fight scene, and like there's a lot of cuts, but there's also minimal cuts at the same time. So like I'm a big cinematography guy. It just yeah. I love those movies. So when I saw that on your list, I was like, oh, we got to talk about that.
Yeah, I might rewatch them tonight, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Blu-rays.
yeah. No, God, those are so good. I love Kill Bills. Um, I think it's about a good time as any to jump into everyone's favorite segment, Big Guys Top 5. Play the thing.
The Big Guys Top 5. Oh, yeah.
Again, if I edit it correctly, there's a thing playing. If not, whoops.
Yeah, I forgot you have a song now for it.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is about that, I've had it for a long time. I've just never used it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I made that originally back when I first came out with this podcast back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I just never got to using it. But so Donald, this is the Big Guys Top 5, which I know you're familiar with, but for those that aren't, let me explain what's going on. These are 5 simple, easy, quick questions to prove to you and to everyone else that you are indeed human and not a robot. I don't know why I've dubbed it that way, but I have. And I finally did what I've been saying I've wanted to do since the beginning of this podcast, and I made a pie chart talking about
Yeah.
what exactly is in the lead of the favorite ice cream, which is my very first question of the
Mm-hmm.
Big Guys Top 5, because it's a legitimate question. You could tell
Mm-hmm.
a lot about somebody from, what their favorite ice cream is. So just really quickly, and to nobody's surprise here, mint chocolate chip is in the lead with 7. Cookies and cream, cookie dough following with 2, and then I'm not going to sit here and name off every other kind, but there's a lot of other kinds that all have 1 vote, and of course it's the person who voted for them. But as we jump in, Donald, I got to ask you,
Mm-hmm.
what's your favorite ice cream, brother?
Mint chocolate chip. And it's funny. I used to like it, but I wasn't very into it. Then I started listening to your podcast. I'm like, a lot of people are saying mint chocolate chip.
Yeah.
There's an ice cream stand down the street from me, and I walked there one time. And I was like, I'm gonna try mint chocolate chip, and that's my favorite flavor.
Well, there you go, man.
Yeah.
Now, it's been a thing that I've enjoyed for so very long. I just like mint. Like I like little
Mm-hmm.
peppermints that you get from restaurants, from the
Mm-hmm.
store, whatever. Like mint chocolate chip ice cream. I enjoy mints. So and like mint is such a controversial flavor because
Yeah. Yeah.
people don't like it because it tastes like toothpaste or whatever.
Yeah.
But
When I go to the ice cream stand that's down the street from me, I ask them for Oreos crushed up into it, and then like extra Oreos, and it's
oh,
really good. It
okay.
doesn't sound like it'll be good, but it adds an extra like crunch to it.
Yeah. Well, it's like a cookies mint chocolate chip. Yeah, I bet
Yeah.
that would be fire.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
bet that would be. Of course, though, I'd want to put mint Oreos in it.
Fair enough.
But
I also really like chocolate. Sorry, I also really like cotton candy flavored ice cream.
cotton
That's really
candy.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
I'm the first one to say that.
You are. Yep. I definitely haven't had cotton candy named. I will say cotton candy for me is a little too sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely get the appeal for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But do you regularly eat just regular cotton candy as well, or is it only ice cream? Because I
No,
know that's
it's
kind of
only
a
ice cream.
thing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. I really like sweet things like Prime. I really like the drink Prime.
oh, okay,
Yeah, and so I don't know. I like it.
yeah. I mean, hey, man, I get it. I'm trying to think. I've had a couple of the Prime flavors.
Mm-hmm.
Prime is like Logan Paul and Prime are actually like the main
Yeah,
sponsor for the WWE. So
I didn't know that.
I see Prime all the time on TV, and then Logan Paul, who's currently a champion in the WWE. Yeah, I see him all the time too. So Prime is always just boom shoved in my face. So it's
Mm-hmm.
hard not to want to try it.
Yeah.
But so I know that obviously you're a movie guy, but the
Mm-hmm.
real question though is, are you a gamer?
Somewhat.
Somewhat.
Yeah, I have a Switch. I play it.
Okay.
I do have a favorite game. If you're,
Well, I was going to say
I have a couple favorite games.
I'm going to ask you what your favorite game is right now and what your
Mm-hmm.
favorite game is of all time. And as always, if you need to give us a top 5, a top 10, a top 20, do whatever you'd like. But the floor is yours, sir.
Okay. Well, as for right now, it's not so recent anymore, but I played Mario Wonder, and Mario is like my favorite. I get all the new Mario. I haven't gotten a chance to, but I want to play Paper Mario. That was a new door.
Oh, okay.
I just haven't played it yet. But no, Mario Wonder was really good. I was disappointed by Princess Peach. I really wanted that to be good, but it wasn't. And I just recently got a PS5, so I'm going to
Ah,
start Last of Us Part 1 pretty soon.
mm,
But I haven't played it yet. I haven't played the game. I watched the show. I know that you like
mm,
the game, but
mm.
I haven't played it.
Last of
Played it.
Us is a journey, dude.
Mm-hmm.
One
I'm
of
excited.
one of my top 10 of all time,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
easily.
I like the show, so I'm excited.
Yeah, no, they did. They knocked it out with the show too. Honestly, it was so good.
Mm-hmm. And then as for of all time, I really like Super Mario World. I just played.
Mm.
I've always known about it, and I've always like watched videos, but just played it like for myself, by myself, for the first time on my Switch recently.
Yeah,
It's so good. It might be my favorite game. I have like an Angry Birds piggy bank. I really like Angry Birds.
I mean, yeah.
Um, yeah, Angry Birds is good. Um, I like Super Smash Bros. Brawl specifically because that's the one I kind of grew up with.
Okay, yeah.
I also really like New Super Mario Bros. DS because that's the first game I ever beat.
Mm.
And I think that's about it. I'm not a lifelong gamer. I just recently got into gaming.
Okay.
But yeah, I also have a PewDiePie chair. If you,
Oh,
yeah,
there you go.
yeah. I don't really like to show this off because PewDiePie is a controversial figure.
Some would say.
Before his controversies.
Some would say. No, I
Yeah.
say I don't know if you've ever shown that to Geek, but he would geek out about that chair for sure.
I've never talked to Geek. Yeah.
No? Oh man, Geek's a good guy.
No.
Although
I'd go
just
on the Scuffed Ass podcast if he asked me to.
although just be careful. Oh, there you go. Although just be careful, man. He'll try to get you into stuff like he'll try to get you into D&D and all that.
I know. I watched the D&D movie and I liked it. And, I've never played D&D, and I don't. I have an interest. So if he wants me to,
Yeah.
if any of you guys want me to, yeah.
Oh man. All right.
You'll have to teach me. I wouldn't know what I'm doing. But,
He over the course of 15 months he taught me how to do it. So me
Mhm,
and my wife, who she had played D&D like twice.
mhm,
I had never played it, and then now I just hosted a game last night. So
mhm.
there we go. But it's awesome, man. So obviously I know that we've been talking about, movies pretty much this entire time. And I know I try
Uh-huh.
to keep things like, oh, give me your top 5 favorite, give me your top 10 favorite.
Mhm,
I'm gonna kind of turn it on your head a little bit. I want
mhm.
your top 10 most disliked movies.
Okay.
I know negativity is something that a lot of people try to stay away from, but I'm curious.
I'll have to look that up because I don't really think about movies I don't like.
Yeah. it's such a retrospective thing. I feel like you need a bad movie in there every once in a while to really make those good movies shine.
Oh boy, I've seen a few that I really did not like. That were completely. Yeah, I didn't like the new Lion King remake. It just took everything about the original and just made it dull and lifeless.
I
Um,
have not seen it. I don't know if I want to.
you do not. Yeah. There's a movie 1941 by Steven Spielberg that is just so offensive. I love Spielberg,
hmm
but it's like a comedy about Pearl Harbor, and it is
Oh,
just as bad
okay.
as Long Line is. I would not recommend that movie. It's just not even a funny bad movie. It's just like oh. Um, and then there's a. Let me see here. I know you guys are, but I'm not big on Deadpool. I find him annoying. I don't like Ryan Reynolds.
You see, to be honest with you, I'm not huge on Deadpool either. If I'm being honest,
Mm-hmm.
like I get it, he's funny. I enjoyed his comics
Mm-hmm.
back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
but like I feel like he's just been shoved down our throats over the past like 5 years. Um, and like I am excited for Deadpool 3. Don't get it twisted, but
Mm-hmm.
like, eh,
Yeah.
there like I want more Iron Man.
I feel like I would like him in comics. I have a mini comic collection over there. I haven't read any of his comics, but I feel like
Oh,
I would
okay.
like him.
I'll say, if you ever get the chance, Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. It's like a 4 or 5 book series. It is
Mhm.
ridiculous, but it's hysterical.
Okay. Um, but if you want, what I thought you were going to ask was my favorite movies of this year, which I would like to talk about a lot more.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
Well, go ahead.
yeah, yeah. So my favorite movie of the year, for some reason on Letterboxd it's listed as 2022, but it's called Hundreds of Beavers. It's
Okay.
a really weird, like black and white kind of silent comedy about a
Mm,
guy trying to kill beavers. It's really funny. It's
okay.
a little bit too long, but if you like the Jackass movies,
hmm
it's kind of the guy keeps getting hit in the nuts over and over again. It's really
okay. Okay.
funny. And I feel like you would like. It's called In a Violent Nature. I just saw it the other night. It was really good. It's like a slasher
I
movie,
was gonna
and
say that's the. I've seen the trailer for it. I remember the name.
it's
I yeah.
yeah, it's just a movie from the perspective of the killer. And
Oh.
it's like that for until about the end, and the end it kind of dives off. That's why it was an 8 for me and not like a 9 or a 10 because I
Okay.
was super into it. The final scene is one of the most gory things you will ever see. Like, and I'm new
Wow.
to horror
Okay.
movies, and I'm
Okay.
like, I don't think that's gonna top it.
I'll have to put that one
It's
to the
really good.
test. I'll have to put that
Yeah,
one to the
yeah.
test.
And then the new Mad Max Furiosa was really good.
Mm,
Um,
I want to see it. I haven't seen it yet.
yeah. I really liked Dune 2, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Dune 2 was really good. And then just a few more here. Late Night with the Devil was really good. I don't know if you saw that one.
Mm-mm.
It's supposed to be a found footage type thing, like Blair Witch or something, but it's
Oh,
like a
okay.
talk show where one of the people getting interviewed were possessed by the devil during the broadcast. It's really interesting.
Oh, I think I remember seeing a trailer for that one too.
Yeah, yeah. And then just three more. Civil War was really good.
The new
It's
A24.
not. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, it was interesting because it wasn't. I thought it wasn't so much about politics. It's more about journalism. It's about a group of journalists who are trying to get an interview with the president,
Oh, okay.
like in the middle of a civil war.
Right.
Um, and then there's Drive Away Dolls, which I might not be able to say what it's about because YouTube might take it down as very sexual. It's not a porn movie, but it's a it's what by one of the Coen brothers, and it was
Kind of
really good.
draws that line pretty close.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
For sure.
And then the final one is The Fall Guy. It's not one of my absolute favorites, but it's just kind of fun.
So that's Gosling, right? Ryan Gosling.
Same director as Deadpool 2, surprisingly.
Oh, okay.
It was really fun. It
Yeah.
was good.
I say I remember seeing
Yeah.
trailers for Fall Guy. And I think I've always just enjoyed Ryan Gosling. Drive is probably one of my favorite movies that he's ever
Drive.
done.
Yeah, yeah. I should have brought that up. That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, no, man. Uh, so I just because I have to with this movie.
Mhm.
I hadn't ever watched the movie, but I found the soundtrack. Kavinsky who does a lot of the songs on the soundtrack. I'm a real big like synth wave kind of like electronic guy, and that soundtrack just hit hard for me. I love that damn soundtrack. But then I finally got to the point where I'm like, I need to watch this fucking movie. Finally did it, fell in love with it. I've watched it so many more times since then. But I just Drive is up there for me, man.
It's also super.
Yes. It itches that. I call it the inner primal inside of you. It itches that. Yeah, I mention that a lot with a lot of my letterbox reviews, but obviously we're going to continue talking about movies. But I do want to get one more top 5 question out of you. And obviously, in the world that we live in, as I said before, there's just so much negativity, so much going on, so much hate. We really need to, like, in the position that we're in, I feel like we need to push kind of more positivity out there. So I guess, Donald, if you had one thing that you could say to the world, what do you think it would be?
Oh boy. When I was going back to re-listen to your podcast, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to answer those questions. I this is one of my professor's pieces of advice, and this is the only thing I'm going to say. It's from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and it's don't panic. This is the way to happiness. So no matter what you're doing, just know if you're streaming to nobody or whatever, if you're doing a podcast that nobody's listening to, it doesn't matter. At some point, you're going to get the recognition that you deserve, and just keep going with the flow. And this is the way to happiness.
Love it. Hitchhiker's Guide is another. I haven't seen that movie in forever, but it's a beautiful movie. I love it. But
I've never seen the movie.
No? Oh wow. I know.
There's a miniseries too.
Oh, is there? I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
No, I know the movie fell off for a lot of people. I know a lot of people that enjoyed the book, but no, that was beautifully said. But that was another rendition, ladies and gentlemen, of the Big Guys Top 5. Donald, I didn't know how much information Letterboxd gave. It's actually pretty interesting. It gives like a stat block of like what movie genres you prefer rating over others, and I didn't look at my own. I ought to at some point, but out of just pure morbid curiosity, what do you think your most watched actor is?
It'll have to be a Pixar actor, right?
I'm not sure actually. I don't.
Is it not John Ratzenberger?
It's not.
Really? Because he's in all the Pixar movies. He's like an extra.
Yeah. No,
they're Lucky Charm.
I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of surprised to see this name because I know how much you love Pixar movies.
Is it Al Pacino?
It is not.
I can't tell you.
Sam Jackson.
Oh, because Tarantino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I when you said earlier that you enjoyed Tarantino, I was like, okay, now that makes sense.
Yeah. The Avengers. I'm partial to some Avengers too, but mainly.
I could talk all night about the Avengers. All right, but what about your most watched director?
Either Spielberg or Tarantino.
It's Spielberg by a few, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to watch all of his movies. He has so many.
Yes.
I think I've seen most of them. I have a collection, like the Steven Spielberg collection that has all of his movies on Blu-ray.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, what's your favorite Spielberg?
Oh boy. It'll probably close. I'll look it up. It's probably either Close Encounters of the Third Kind or Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom. Or Last Crusade, either one.
I'll say I know a lot of people would probably say Indiana Jones.
Jaws. Oh my goodness.
Yep. I'll say Jaws is probably it for me.
Schindler's List probably isn't my favorite, but I think it's his best. Fablemans is amazing. I really like The Post. The Post is super underrated.
Okay.
It's Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep. The new West Side Story was really good. Oh, Tintin is really good. All of his movies are so good. That's a hard question. I would probably say Jaws.
Jaws? All right.
Kind of generic, but yeah.
I mean, hey, man.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
Tomorrow it might be something else. Tomorrow it'll change. But
That's
right now it'll be Jaws.
That's honestly the beautiful thing about movies is that it can always just flip on a dime.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like to ask movie buffs. What do you think a movie is that like you put on a movie that you absolutely thought was going to be a shitter, and it turned out to be something that you actually really enjoyed? What do you think one of those are for you?
I'll have to think about that one. Leo, I thought was going to be trash, but I kind of liked it.
I was going to say the animated with Adam Sandler. Yeah.
I know you watched it, but
yeah,
I kind of enjoyed that movie.
I didn't care for it as much, but you know, I've been watching Adam Sandler for a long time, so.
That's a good question. I really liked the menu. The menu, it was so popular. It's like, okay, there's no way it's gonna be that good.
Yeah.
It wasn't that good, but it was okay. Like I liked it more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah. No, I really liked the menu.
Let me see here. There's a few movies I've seen that I thought I would like that I didn't, like Dashcam. Dashcam was terrible.
Oh, I'm not sure of that one.
Let me see. That I thought was bad, but was actually good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was the question?
Well, that you had like expectation of it being bad, but then it was kind of like, oh wow, this is actually really good.
Game Night is a movie that I really was not expecting anything out of. It's a comedy with Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams.
Oh, okay.
It's about like a game night, and they get kidnapped, and they think it's part of a game, but they're actually getting kidnapped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looks like it was by the trailers. It looks like it's going to be the dumbest, like most generic comedy ever. But there's some really good cinematography. There's one scene where it's a chase scene and it's all one take that was just super ambitious, especially for a movie of that nature. And there was just a lot of really funny, really deep cut, like old Hollywood references that I wasn't expecting. And that's my answer is Game Night. It's not like a 10 out of 10 movie, but it's like an 8 out of 10. It was going to be like a 4.
Right, definitely. Okay, now flip-flop it. What's a movie that you were really excited about, but you went and watched it and you regretted every minute of it?
There's a lot of those. Let me see here. There's a few I can name off the top of my head, but I want like an interesting one.
Okay.
I know you're a big John Wick guy, but John Wick 3, I was not into it.
No?
I could not get into
it. Parabellum, man.
They spent way too much time on the Continental, and it's just like, I just want to see John Wick kill some guys, making me like this story, and I was just not into it.
Yeah.
But John Wick 2 is one of my favorite action movies of all time.
John Wick 2 is absolutely up there. I will say John Wick 3 for me is probably one of my favorites. I still haven't seen 4. I need to.
I liked it. I didn't hate it as much as I hated 3, but I didn't like it as much as I liked 2. I liked it a little bit more than number 1. I thought it was okay. It just went on for a little too long.
I'll give you that. You got any others for that?
I have a lot more. I feel like that's the one that I was expecting to like the most.
Was John Wick 3?
Yeah. Boop, boop, boop. Deadpool, I guess it could go up there because I've heard, it's like the one good superhero movie.
Wow.
And then, let's see, the last one that I'm going to mention is Silver Linings Playbook. It's
okay.
Who is in that movie, actually?
I don't think I ever saw it.
So it's Bradley Cooper, Jennifer Lawrence. I usually like Bradley Cooper. He's Rocket Raccoon. He's also in the Hangover movies. But it's directed by a really weird director who did very problematic things that I can't say here because YouTube will take the video down.
Oh boy.
Very
Okay.
bad thing. And it's same director as the one movie with all the actors and Taylor Swift that came out a couple of years ago. Armageddon, something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I think so. Yeah.
It started with an A. I don't remember the name. But it's a very critically acclaimed movie. Silver Linings Playbook was nominated for an Oscar and everything, like for a bunch of Oscars actually. And I was like, I don't get it. It's too melodramatic. It's really slow and sad, and it's like trying to be sad, so it's not actually sad. Yeah, that's my other answer. So Silver Linings Playbook and John Wick 3 are my answers for that.
Okay, fair enough. Well, as we're getting ready to wrap things up, because believe it or not, it's already almost been an hour, which it definitely never feels like it.
Yeah.
Are
we gonna do the playlist?
Oh, we didn't do the playlist, did we? I guess I skipped right over that one.
If you want, we can.
Oh, I did skip right over it. No, I got you.
No, you're fine. Do you want to just edit it into the top 5?
No, it's fine. Let's see. Let me just bust out the.
I was gonna say I was excited to talk about that.
I thought I was missing something in the top 5. I was like, something doesn't feel right here. Where are you at? There you are. So we're gonna for the listeners and the viewers, we're gonna rewind a little bit, go back to the top Big Guy's top 5, because I did totally skip over one of the most popular questions on there, and it being the top 10 playlist of music, which down in the description below, no matter if you're viewing or if you're listening, you can click the link to an actual official Spotify playlist of all of these songs. It is an insane playlist. Let's see. It is currently 4 minutes shy of 6 hours long. It is.
I was gonna say 4 minutes.
Yeah. No, it goes in every direction that you could imagine. And I will say that was only added on by Donald's top 10. So thank you for bringing that up, because I definitely would have spaced on that one. But I'm just gonna name them off, and you kind of give me like a little something about why you feel like they need to be in here. So starting off, The King, If I Can Dream by Elvis Presley. Specifically, you chose the live version.
Yes, that was intentional.
Okay.
You can really feel the passion in his voice with this song. It's just such a powerful, politically driven, politically passionate song. In one of my classes I took was rhetorical theory, and we analyzed this song.
Oh, okay.
There's just so much. There's so much to it. I like it a lot.
Yeah. I'll say I don't listen to a whole lot of Elvis, but I did enjoy the biopic they did of him. I thought it was super good. Who was that? Austin Butler, I think.
Yeah, and Tom Hanks, who was like Hanks was
yeah.
Otherwise, it was
agreed. We've got To Zion by Miss Lauryn Hill.
Yeah. So this album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, was recently voted number 1 on Apple Music's top 100 list. And I was like, that's cool, because I've disagreed with the majority of that list, but that's my number 1 album too. It's, again, it's just a good song. It's just so fun and happy and happy, and you just want to listen to it while you're driving in the nighttime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not gonna lie to you, this one made me laugh a little bit. Miss Jackson by Outkast.
So I'm a newbie to Outkast, and this is their most cliche song, but it's so good. It's so fun.
Yeah,
I like it a lot. I can listen to it a million times.
Yeah, no, Outkast is. I was a little surprised to see Outkast. If I'm not going to be honest with you, but no, I've been there. Of course, we have the classic "Purple Rain" by Prince.
this isn't in any particular order, but it's either Purple Rain or If I Can Dream. Those are both my favorite songs of all time. I can't choose between one or the other. It's just such a good song. It, I'm not very good at describing music, which is like how I feel about music, which is why I'm a movie reviewer and not a music reviewer. But
Okay, yeah.
I listen to enough music, but it gets me in my feels every time. It's just so good.
Yeah, definitely. I say the Super Bowl with him playing Purple Rain while also in the rain was just it's such an iconic thing, man. Art is Dead, Bo Burnham.
Yeah. So Bo Burnham is one of my favorite artists. It's kind of a bad look to say that Bo Burnham is one of your favorite artists because his reputation at least is very incelly.
Mm-hmm.
Like if someone says they listen to Bo Burnham, then you're expecting a certain type of person. But this song is it's very very emo and very but it strikes a good message, especially with the age of AI uh, taking over everything. Um, it brings a whole new meaning to the song. I just find it interesting. Burnham was very young. I don't remember what age he was when he recorded this song. He was very young, and it's interesting how much insight he had on that at such a young age.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'll say I was trying to think what's the special he did Inside, where he was locked
Inside.
into
I
the
loved Inside.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah.
Loved it.
My wife had a super big thing where she just watched that like 3 or 4 times,
Yeah.
and
So did I. So did I.
yeah, it's good stuff. Island in the Sun, Weezer.
Oh, yeah. This is one of the more fun songs on the playlist. Whenever it turns summertime, this is the first song. Like whenever it's sunny outside, this is the first song I'm playing in the car.
Okay.
Weezer's probably my favorite band, which is also very. When you say Weezer's your favorite band, again, you picture a type of person.
Yeah.
But they're a meme and they're really funny and they own up to the meme and I like it.
I would definitely agree that they definitely own up to the fact that they are a meme. No Hard Feelings, the Avett
Avett Brothers.
Okay.
So the Avett Brothers are one of the most soulful, I guess, country groups. They kind of transcend the country genre. The episode I did, sorry, just the episode I did with I can't sneeze. I don't know why. But the episode I did with Emerson Corleone was going over the documentary of the Ava brothers. Can't believe I'm forgetting what May it last. May it last. But, Emerson couldn't watch it because he's in Canada and it wasn't available where he was. So he listened to the album and we had a discussion about the album. But it's one of the emotional songs of
yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. In the meantime, Space Hog.
Mm-hmm. My introduction to this was through the Guardians 3 trailer. It's the song played, and it was also when they were in space going to. It's been a while since I've seen Guardians 3 when they were going to that one ship or whatever. That's the time I was playing. It's just so there was a long time where that was all. It was the only song I would listen to. It's just so re-listenable.
Yeah,
it's a good song.
Now the Guardians soundtracks are some of the best.
Mm-hmm.
Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar.
Did you follow the Kendrick and Drake beef?
Loosely. Yeah, loosely.
I know we're running low on time here, so I'm not going to get too deep into it.
No, you're fine.
It was one of the. So, do you know like the basis of the beef? It's really silly.
So I had heard about it from Geek,
but
I never really followed. Like again, like loosely, I followed it, but
yeah. So Drake said in a J. Cole song that Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick were the big three. Kendrick goes, "There's no big three. There's only the big me." And then that's why they started fighting.
Okay.
Because God forbid anyone ever compliment Kendrick Lamar. But it's such a good song. It's so catchy and it's so like you're dead. Like Drake is anyone who had Drake winning after that was cooked. Like it was such a good song.
Oh jeez. And then of course we're gonna round it out Yesterday by the Beatles.
For a while, this was my favorite song. Again, it's just very emotional. There's not much else to say about it. It's my favorite Beatles. It says me.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to assume that you watched the Beatles movie that they did.
The Get Back.
Well, so I guess it wasn't. I guess it wasn't really a Beatles movie, but it was a Yesterday.
Oh no, I haven't seen that actually.
No? Oh wow.
No, I've seen A Hard Day's Night. I haven't seen that one.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm not the biggest Beatles guy. I'll just come out and say, but I will say, Yesterday I thought was a beautiful movie. I feel like you'll really enjoy it.
I heard Brackle in the background.
Yeah, she said something. I didn't hear what she said. What'd you say? There's multiple Beatles movies. Well, none of them were the one I was referring to. So, yeah.
Anyway,
but as we're getting ready to wrap up, I do want to ask, what do you think are a couple movies that like you would say are detrimental for people to watch just because of like maybe the score is super good, the cinematography is super good, like they're the prime example of damn near a perfect movie.
let me look at. Let me look at.
Okay, yeah, no, you're fine. Take all the time you need.
I don't want to say something. Well, Casablanca, obviously, and Do the Rain. I would say Do the Right Thing. If you haven't seen it, I would say watch it tonight. Interstellar is a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Killers of the Flower Moon just came out, but that was so good. So I'm going to give you 5. I'm going to say Casablanca, Do the Right Thing. All That Jazz is like a musical about like dealing with the idea of death.
Oh, okay.
I've never, like no one, like the finale of All That Jazz. No one should have ever tried to make a movie after that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just peak. And My Dinner with Andre is like a podcast before podcasts. It's really hard to explain it, but it's just so. I'm trying to think of a word to describe it. It's so interesting, which I know is kind of anticlimactic, but it really it's like the definition of the word interesting.
Okay.
The final movie, I'm just gonna throw out Motel Hell just because it was so funny. But it was also just a good horror movie.
Yeah.
Like it was properly scary while also being super goofy.
Okay.
Which a lot of them are either really scary or really goofy. There's nothing like the perfect middle.
Oh no. Oh no.
I feel like that is the perfect middle of a goofy, scary horror movie.
Yeah. So you're getting into. I gotta ask. Like you're getting into horror. Yeah. You're getting into horror movies and whatnot. And like like what have you seen so far? Like as far as that goes. Like have you been watching for a bit, or is it just like a recent thing?
For a bit, I've been trying to get into them. Ever since I think 2 years ago, I first watched The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing. I was like, "This is so cool."
Yep. The effects that they used for The Thing. Ooh.
Yeah. And of course, Emerson Corleone is also basically a master of like horror movies.
Oh yeah.
So I had him put together a list of horror movies that I should watch.
Okay.
I've seen a few of those, but ones that I want to shout out, I can do a few like classics, and I can do a few like recent ones.
Okay.
I'm not going to say any of the generic ones. I really like this movie called Sisters. It's about a fashion model. It's very good. I really liked House 2. It's like a Japanese movie. I have a shirt of it. It's again like a goofy, scary kind of perfect middle movie. David Lynch is a very interesting director. I like The Eraserhead. I had to turn on the lights because it was so scary.
For sure.
I like Friday the 13th, obviously, but that's
classic.
cliche. Yeah. I just rewatched Nightmare on Elm Street, and I underestimated how good that movie is.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep.
I like this movie called The Keep, which is about Nazis taking over like a fortress type thing.
Oh, okay.
It's really good. It's also by John Carpenter. Um, let's see. There's not many really obscure ones that I've seen. I really like Funny Games, which is Michel Haneke, who's like a really famous French director.
Oh,
It's
okay.
super violent. It's really messed up.
Okay.
Um, I like The Descent. You've probably seen it. It's
Oh,
the
yep.
girls going into the cave.
Yep. That one, I get claustrophobic really easily, so that one really messed with me.
Um, and as for new ones, I really like this movie called Cobweb, which is like something's in the wall type of thing, except it was actually done well.
Mm.
Um, I really liked No One Will Save You, which is kind of like an alien except done well. Um, and then Talk to Me was really good. It's an A24 horror movie about like a group of friends who find this like mysterious hand thing. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah.
I might not be describing it completely accurately, but I saw it in the theater and I had a fun time.
I mean, honestly, all I had to say was A24, and I'm here for it. Like, I don't know if I've seen a bad A24 movie yet, so.
Yeah, there's certainly a few. I did not like Swiss Army Man, which is by the directors of Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is surprising because I loved Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay.
But Swiss Army Man is their comedy, and I
Mm.
didn't like it.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah,
I mean, obviously, like, have you seen any of the Halloween movies? Like with Michael
oh yeah,
Myers?
oh yeah, yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah, oh yeah. I've seen the first one. I need to watch the others. Um, Emerson keeps telling me to watch the third one, so I'm gonna have to do that.
Emerson. The third one is controversial. A lot of people hate the third one.
Yeah,
So just be prepared going into that one.
yeah.
What about Child's Play?
No, I
No.
still have to get into Chucky. Yeah, I know about Chucky. I just have to get into it.
Child's Play. The third
I,
one has always been my favorite.
I really like more obscure, kind of goofy ones,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. I'll say I grew up with slashers. So, Jason, Freddy, Michael, Chucky, and then of course going into, nowadays, talking about like Jigsaw and
Mhm.
all of those other ones, but
Saw 2 is my favorite Saw.
Saw 2 is a super good one. Saw 2 is a really good one. I think Saw 4 was my favorite. I haven't seen any of them in so long.
What's the one where he was in the hospital? Was that 3?
I think so.
Yeah, I like that one too.
See, I used to remember them all by a particular kill that happened in them.
Yeah.
Because, like, 1, he chops off the ankle. 2, she gets thrown in the pit. I think it's
Mhm.
4 where he gets the ribs ripped out, and it's like an angel.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot that image, but
Yeah. No, those movies are brutal. But,
yeah.
um,
I stopped at Saw 5 because I couldn't do it.
ooh,
It's too much.
I haven't seen the newest one, Saw 10.
Me neither. I've heard it's excellent. I should watch it.
Yeah.
But
I will say, don't waste your time with Jigsaw. They did like a spin-off. That one was okay.
yeah.
That one was okay.
With Chris Rock.
Yeah, it was
Is
weird,
Chris
man.
Rock in that one?
Yeah. I say because like he's trying to be serious, and I don't know, man. Whenever I see Chris Rock, I just think The Longest Yard. But Don, tell the people where they can find you.
I'm on Twitter at Dondayafternoon. You can follow my podcast, Pocket Cinema. It's on Apple, Spotify. I don't think Google Podcasts exists anymore. It's on. It should be on YouTube Music. Um, it should be everywhere. I use Acast, and so it just poops it out everywhere. So I don't know what it's on and what it's not. But if you have a podcast listening, it's right there.
There you go. And of course, I'll link everything as well down in the description below. I highly recommend Pocket Cinema. It's a super interesting podcast. Not too long like some of those other podcasts are out there. You've got Tyler, you've got Nate, and then of course you got Donald. They're always super, super funny guys, super interesting. And I'm always curious of what's going to make or break Tyler's sleep test. So, but Donald, man, I appreciate you being on here. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Come on my podcast.
I'm there. Just let me know.
Yeah.
But thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching or listening to the best podcast that you've never heard of, Small Talks with the Big Guy. And we will see you in the next one.